to Beyond the Back Roads.
There's a stretch of road in California that locals try not to drive at night. It cuts through Niles Canyon, narrow, winding, and often swallowed in fog that rolls in thick and fast. Even during the day, the light struggles to reach the bottom in certain places. At night, it feels different, quieter, heavier, like the road is holding on to something.
Niles Canyon runs between Fremont and Sonoma. It looks like just another scenic drive. Railroad tracks running beside the road, rock walls on one side with the river trailing alongside of it, and trees crowding the other. But the road has been dangerous for a long time. Sharp turns, steep drop-offs, thick fog that can roll in without warning. For decades, it's been a site of accidents, breakdowns, and late-night drivers pulling over when they shouldn't. And that's where the story starts.
Before it was paved the way that it is now, the canyon was a main travel route. Stagecoaches passed through, wagons, later early automobiles. People were always moving through here, and sometimes they didn't make it out. Locals have talked for generations about crashes on the bends, cars slipping in wet weather, drivers losing control on the curves. Some accidents were minor, some weren't, and the road gained a reputation, not just for being dangerous, but for feeling wrong after dark.
Stop. People who grew up nearby say they were warned early. Don't drive the canyon too late. Don't stop for anything. And if you see something walking along, keep going. No explanation, just the warning.
The most common story is the one everyone knows now. Drivers heading through the canyon late at night, the road quiet, fog hanging low, and then up ahead, in the headlights, they see her, standing just off the shoulder, a woman, alone, dressed in white.
Sometimes she looks like she's waiting. Sometimes like she's lost. And sometimes like she's been there a long time. Drivers slow down, some keep going, but some stop. And the moment they do, they realize something feels off. Not dangerous, just cold.
The first story started decades ago, long before social media, long before forums and ghost hunting shows, back when the only way stories spread was person to person. One driver tells another, a neighbor mentions it over coffee, someone at a gas station says they saw the same thing, and the descriptions never changed. White dress, long hair, standing in the same stretch of road, always alone.
What made people believe it just wasn't one sighting. It was how many people had the same experience. People who didn't know each other, different years, different cars, different times of night, but the same woman in the same canyon.
Some people say the fog makes your mind play tricks on you. Shapes look like people, shadows shift, light bends, but that doesn't explain why drivers describe the same thing, or why some of them say she moved, took a step forward, turned her head, or looked straight at them as they passed.
And then there are drivers who didn't just see her. They stopped. They rolled down the window. They asked if she needed help, and she walked towards the car.
No one agrees on when the story truly began. Some say the 1920s, others say much earlier. But everyone agrees on one thing. People still see her, and they still pick her up.
The most common versions go like this. A driver is heading through the canyon late at night. It's quiet, fog hugging the road, no other cars, no lights except your own. And then up ahead, in the headlights, they see her, standing just off the road, still silent, wearing a long white dress.
Sometimes she looks like she's been crying. Sometimes she's staring down the road. And sometimes she's looking directly at the car, not waving, not calling out, just standing there waiting.
Drivers slow down. At first, they think of something. At first, they think of someone stranded, maybe a breakdown, maybe someone trying to get a signal. It's a canyon road. You don't expect to see someone walking. And something about it makes people stop.
They roll down the window, ask if she's okay, ask if she needs a ride, and she gets in. No hesitation, no explanation, just opens the back door and sits down.
She never says much. Sometimes she gives an address, soft voice, barely above a whisper. Sometimes she just points down the road. And drivers say she's freezing cold, colder than the night air, colder than the fog. Like the temperature inside the car drops the second she gets in.
People try to make conversation. Where are you headed? Are you okay? Did something happen? But she doesn't answer much. Short replies, quiet voice, sometimes nothing at all. And most drivers say they feel this strange pressure in the car, like the air is heavier, like the space feels smaller, like something is wrong, but they can't explain why.
Some say they don't even look back right away. They keep their eyes on the road. The canyon is narrow. The turns are tight. You don't want to lose focus. But they know she's there. They can feel it.
And then at some point, they check the mirror just to make sure she's okay. And that's when everything changes.
Because the seat is empty. No door opening. No movement. No sound. Just gone.
1 second she's sitting behind them, the next she isn't. And the car is still moving, still sealed, still quiet. Just the road ahead and the fog behind.
Some drivers slam on the brakes, pull over, jump out. They check the back seat, the side of the door, the trees, nothing. No footsteps, no white dress disappearing in the dark, no sound of someone running away, just silence.
One man said he was so sure she had opened the door that he walked back along the road with a flashlight. He searched for 10 minutes, then 20. Nothing. No tracks in the dirt, no broken branches, no sign that anyone had ever been there.
Another driver said she spoke only once. He asked where she needed to go. She gave an address. And that was it. He drove the rest of the way in silence, didn't look back, didn't speak again, just followed the road until he reached the place where she had named.
And when he finally turned around to tell her they were there, the back seat was empty. Door still closed, seat untouched, like no one had ever been sitting there at all.
That's when the story takes a turn everyone remembers, because some of those drivers didn't just drive away. They went to the door. They knocked. And someone answered.
An older woman or a man or someone who lived in the house for years. And when they described the girl they picked up, the person at the door would go quiet. Not confused, not surprised, just quiet.
And then they said the same thing. That was my daughter, or she died years ago.
Some say the house they knocked on had pictures inside. A framed photo on the wall, a young woman in a white dress, and it looked exactly like the girl they had just given a ride to.
And the people at the door would explain, she died in the canyon, on that road, late at night. And sometimes people still bring her home.
People describe the moment the same way. No door opening, no sound, no movement, just gone. 1 second she's there, the next she isn't. And it takes a few seconds for it to even register, because your brain doesn't expect someone to just disappear from the back seat of your car.
At first, some drivers think maybe she just ducked down. Maybe she leaned forward. Maybe she's playing a joke. Maybe she got out when they slowed down. But when they finally turned around, the seat is empty, completely empty.
Some drivers pull over immediately, heart racing, hands shaking. They check the back seat, the floor, the door handle, still locked. No sign it was ever opened.
Others keep driving, too afraid to stop, too confused to understand what just happened. They keep glancing in the mirror, almost expecting her to be there again, just sitting quietly, looking down, like nothing happened. But she never came back.
One woman said she felt something brush past her shoulder before she noticed the seat was empty, like someone leaning forward. Then nothing, just cold air.
Another driver said the temperature in the car suddenly changed the moment she disappeared. It went from cold to normal, like whatever had been inside the car had left with her.
Some say they felt relief. Others felt worse, because if someone had gotten out of the car without them noticing, where did she go? There's nowhere to go in the canyon at night. No sidewalks, no lights, just trees, rock walls, and darkness.
Few drivers got out and searched, walked back along the road, calling out, listening for footsteps. Nothing. No movement in the trees, no figures in the distance, no sound except the wind.
One man said he stood there for a long time just staring into the fog, certain he would see her walking away. But the fog never moved, and no one ever appeared.
Another driver said he didn't realize she was gone until he got home. He parked, turned off the car, looked back to tell her they had arrived, and the seat was empty. He said he sat there for a long time trying to remember when she could have gotten out. He never heard the door, never felt the car stop, never noticed anything. She was just gone.
That's the part that sticks with people. Not that they saw her, not that she spoke, but the moment she wasn't there anymore. Because there's no logical explanation for it. No sound, no movement, no time for someone to open a door and disappear into the canyon.
And after it happens, drivers say the road feels different, quieter than before, like the canyon swallowed the moment and moved on. Like nothing happened, except now the car is empty, and they are alone again.
Every legend has a beginning, but with the lady in white of Niles Canyon, no one can agree on exactly where her story started. And that uncertainty is part of what makes it feel real. Because the stories didn't come from one single person. They came from decades of people who had never met each other, telling the same story in different ways.
Some versions say she was the bride. On her wedding day, traveling through the canyon, something went wrong. A crash, a fall, a sudden death before she even made it to the ceremony. The dress she's seen wearing is the same one she never got to walk down the aisle in.
People say she was heading to meet someone, a fiance, a family member, a church, and she never made it there. So she's still on the road, still trying to get where she was going, still waiting for someone to stop and help her finish the trip.
Another version says that she wasn't a bride at all, that she was walking along the canyon road late at night, maybe heading home, maybe leaving somewhere she didn't feel safe, and she was struck by a passing car. Some say the driver never stopped. Some say the driver didn't even realize what had happened. And ever since then, she's been trying to get back home.
There's also a quieter version of the story, one that doesn't involve a wedding or a crash, just a young woman who was left there, stranded, alone, waiting for someone who never came back. And over time, she just became part of the road.
What makes the legend stronger is that there isn't just one explanation. If there were one clear story, one confirmed name, one exact date, it might feel finished, but it doesn't. There's one single newspaper article everyone points to, no official marker on the side of the road, one name that keeps coming up, just pieces, fragments, versions passed down over time.
And yet, every sighting describes the same woman. White dress, long dark hair, standing quietly along the canyon road. Not screaming, not waving, not trying to scare anyone, just waiting.
Some people believe she's tied to the land itself. That's the canyon has seen so many accidents, so many sudden endings, that the energy just stays there. And sometimes it takes shape. Sometimes it looks like someone who needs help.
Others believe she's stuck in a moment, a final memory playing over and over again, stepping out onto the road, looking for a ride, trying to get home. And every now and then, someone stops, and for a few minutes, she's not alone.
There's something sad about that version, because it doesn't feel like a ghost story meant to scare people. It feels like someone who never got closure, someone who never finished what they'd started.
That might be why she doesn't scream, why she doesn't chase cars, why she doesn't appear angry. She just stands there, like she's waiting for the next person to stop. The story didn't stay in the past. People still claim to see her, not just decades ago, not just in old stories passed down through families, but now. Drivers who take Niles Canyon late at night still report seeing someone standing along the shoulder.
And what makes it unsettling is how normal it looks at first. A person standing alone isn't strange by itself. You assume someone broke down or needed a ride, or just got turned around in the dark. But the longer people look, the more something feels off.
Some say she appears in the same stretch every time, near a bend where the road curves tightly and the fog settles low. You round the corner and suddenly she's there, lit up in your headlights, still, quiet, watching, and then she's gone.
A few drivers say they never stopped. They just slowed down, and in that moment, they saw her face clearly. Pale, calm, not angry, not afraid, just distant, like she was looking through them instead of at them.
One driver said he saw her standing near the guardrail and instinctively hit the brakes. But when the car slowed down enough to stop, there was no one there. No sound of footsteps, no movement in the trees, just the empty road and the fog rolling past.
Some people don't see her on the side of the road at all. They just see her in the car.
In the rearview mirror, sitting in the back seat, head tilted slightly forward, hands folded in her lap, not moving, not speaking, just there.
One woman said she saw a white shape in the back seat while driving home late. At first she thought it was a reflection, but when she adjusted the mirror, it looked like someone sitting behind her. She just turned around. Nothing. Just an empty seat.
Another driver said he felt like he wasn't alone in the car. Not scared at first, just aware. Like someone was sitting behind him in complete silence. He didn't look, he just kept driving. And when he finally got home and turned on the interior light, the back seat was empty.
There are also people who say they've seen her on the side of the road while driving past with friends. Everyone in the car sees her. They slow down, they look at each other, and when they look back at the road, she's gone.
One group of friends said they turned around to go back and check. They were sure someone was standing there. But when they reached the spot again, there was nothing. No footprints, no person walking away, no place for someone to hide. Just the curve in the road and the sound of the wind moving through the canyon.
Few people who grew up nearby say they were told never to stop if they saw her. Just keep driving. Don't look too long. Don't pull over. Don't roll down the window. They don't always explain why. Just that it's better not to get it involved.
And even people who've never seen anything say the canyon feels different at night, like someone is watching from the darkness, not threatening, not chasing, just present, like the road remembers what happened there.
Some drivers say the fog itself feels strange. It rolls in suddenly, thick enough to swallow the road, and for a moment, you can barely see past your headlights. That's when people say they feel the most uneasy, because that's when they expect to see her, standing just beyond the lights. Stop. There's something about the roads where tragedies happen. They hold the moment, the fear, the shock, the sudden silence after everything changes. And sometimes those moments don't fade. They stay in the place where they happen.
Niles Canyon has seen more than its share of accidents over the years. Sharp curves, low visibility, long stretches with no lights. It doesn't take much for something to go wrong. And when something does happen on a road like that, it's fast. 1 second everything is normal, and the next second it isn't.
People who believe in these stories say the kind of ending can leave something behind. Not a person, not exactly, but an impression, a moment that keeps replaying, like a memory the canyon won't let go.
Maybe that's what she is. Not a ghost in the way we think of it, just the last moment of someone's life repeating over and over, stepping onto the road, looking for help, trying to get somewhere she never reached.
Or maybe she's waiting for a ride she never finished, for a wedding she never made it to, from someone who was supposed to come back for her. And every time the car slows down for a few seconds, she gets another chance to go home.
Some stories say she always disappears before the ride is over, like she can't go any farther than that stretch of canyon, like something keeps pulling her back.
There's a sadness to the idea. Not fear, not anger, just unfinished, like a sentence that never got its last word.
And that might be why people don't describe her as threatening. She doesn't scream, she doesn't chase cars, she doesn't try to scare anyone. She just stands there, waiting.
It makes the story harder to shake, because it doesn't feel like something trying to hurt you. It feels like someone who needs help. And that's what makes people stop.
But help for what? To get home? To be remembered? To finish something that was never finished? No one knows. And maybe that's the point.
Because if she really is tied to the moment, if she really is stuck in the stretch of road, then every night when the fog rolls in and the headlights cut through the dark, she's there again, standing in the same place, hoping someone will stop. Even if you don't believe in ghost stories, Niles Canyon still feels different at night. It's narrow, dark, and the fog moves fast. Your headlights only reach so far before everything disappears into the gray. And the deeper you get into the canyon, the quieter it becomes.
There are stretches where there are no houses, no streetlights, no signs of anyone around for miles. Just the road, the trees pressing in close, rock walls rising up on one side, and the sound of your own car echoing off everything.
The railroad tracks run alongside part of the canyon, and every once in a while, you'll hear a train pass through. Low, distant, slow. And then it's gone, and the silence comes back even heavier than before.
That silence does something to people. You start listening for things you normally wouldn't notice, the sound in the trees, a shift in the fog, a shadow moving just outside your headlights, and every curve feels like something might be standing just beyond it.
People who drive that road often say the same thing. You don't speed through it. You don't talk much. You just focus on the road because it feels like something could step out at any moment.
And when you round one of those tight bends, your headlights sweep across the shoulder, and for a split second, your mind fills in shapes. A person, a dress, a figure standing there, then nothing, just the road again.
That's part of why the story sticks, because it doesn't feel impossible. You can picture it, driving alone, late, quiet, seeing someone standing on the side of the road and not knowing what to do.
Do you slow down? Do you keep going? Do you pretend you didn't see anything? Because if someone really was out there, you wouldn't want to leave them. But if the stories are true, stopping might mean bringing something into your car that was never meant to leave that canyon.
That's the tension when people feel when they drive through there at night. Not fear exactly, just awareness, like the road is watching, like it knows you're there.
And maybe that's why the legend keeps growing, because it fits the place, the fog, the curves, the quiet. It all makes it feel like something could be standing there waiting to be seen.
And once you've heard the story, you can't unhear it. Every shadow looks different. Every curve feels longer. And every time your headlights hit the shoulder, you wonder if this will be the night you see her. Same legend fades with time. Details get lost. Stories change. People forget. But this one didn't. It stayed on the road, in the fog, in the silence, in the backseat of passing cars.
Generation after generation, people have described the same thing. A woman in white, standing alone, waiting. Not chasing anyone, not screaming, not trying to be seen. Just there. And that's what makes the story stick. Because she doesn't feel like something meant to scare you. She feels like someone who needs something.
And sometimes someone stops. They open a door, they let her in. They drive a few miles in silence. And for a moment, the story feels real. Too real.
Then she's gone. And they're left sitting in a car that suddenly feels too quiet, too empty. Like something was just there and now it isn't.
What makes the legend different is how simple it is. No loud noises, no violent moments, no dramatic endings, just the road, a figure, and a choice.
Do you stop or do you keep driving? Because if it happened to you, if you were alone on that canyon road and your headlights caught someone standing in the fog, you would have to decide.
And most people think they know what they do until they're actually there, until the road gets quiet, until the fog gets thick, until something appears just beyond the reach of the light.
Maybe she's a bride who never made it to the ceremony. Maybe she was walking home and never arrived. Maybe she's just a story that grew over time. But the sightings never stopped and the descriptions never changed.
Which means one of two things. Either the legend is stronger than the truth, or something is still standing out there late after night in the same stretch of road, waiting for the next set of lights.
And maybe she isn't trying to scare anyone. Maybe she's just trying to get home. Maybe she's been trying for years. Maybe every ride she gets is just a few more miles before she disappears again.
Or maybe she doesn't even know where she's gone. Maybe to her, it's still the same night, the same road, the same moment she stepped out into the dark. And every time someone stops, the story starts over.
So next time you drive a road like that, late, quiet, with fog hugging the ground, you might find yourself watching the shoulder a little closer, looking a little longer, just in case.
Because once you've heard the story, you don't just drive through places like this anymore. You listen, you look, and for a split second, you wonder, what do you do if you saw someone standing there?
And if you did see her, would you stop?
And that would be the question, would you stop? From personal experiences, I've been on Niles Canyon for many years. As a kid growing up, I have never personally seen the woman in white. However, I have heard stories from people who have credible stories, from police officers and the reports. One of the versions that I have heard personally was that she was heading back from prom night and somehow died on the way home. But however, the legend remains to be seen, and the legend is still out there. It is true today. We have looked this up, and there are pictures of the woman in white in the newspaper.
So if you're out on Niles Canyon Road, late at night, in the dark, and you see a woman in white, what would you do?
We will see you next time.